Hello, my friend. I'm Paul. Welcome to Night of Tales, a quiet refuge for imagination and dreams. Set aside your worries, as tonight we journey together through worlds of magic, mystery, and wonder. Lie back, relax, and let the tales carry you away. Tonight we venture into the monster-haunted world of The Witcher. The road to Rogov cut through fields gone to seed. Autumn had stripped the land bare. Geralt rode slowly. Roach picked her way through mud that sucked at her hooves with each step. The Witcher's eyes scanned the horizon where gray clouds pressed down like a lid on a cooking pot. He had taken a contract in a tavern 3 days north. The coin was good. The description was vague. Something with wings. Something that killed at night. 3 dead already. The usual fear in the messenger's voice. The usual desperation. Rogov appeared as the sun began its descent. A collection of timber houses clustered around a small square. Smoke rose from chimneys. The smell of cabbage and pork fat drifted on the wind. People moved between buildings with their heads down. They did not linger in the open spaces. Geralt dismounted near the well. A woman filling a bucket glanced at him and hurried away. Her bucket sloshed water onto the ground. He tied Roach to a post and walked toward the largest building, the inn. Its sign showed a painted sheaf of wheat that had faded to the color of old bone. Inside, the common room held perhaps a dozen people. Conversation stopped when he entered. Eyes found him and then found other places to look. A fire burned in the hearth but gave little warmth. Geralt approached the innkeeper, a broad man with a scar across his left cheek. "The Witcher is here," someone whispered. The innkeeper nodded slowly. He gestured toward a corner table where an older man sat alone. "The village head," the innkeeper explained. "He has been waiting." Geralt crossed the room. His boots made no sound on the packed earth floor. The village head looked up. His face was lined with worry and sleepless nights. Pale eyes studied the Witcher with a mixture of hope and doubt. "You came," the man observed. Geralt sat without invitation. He placed his hands flat on the table. The wood was scarred and stained. Someone had carved initials into one corner years ago. "Tell me about the deaths." The village head drew a breath. 3 people. All killed at night. All found near the old cemetery. The Plague Cemetery, east of here. Their bodies were broken. Bones crushed. Throats torn. When did it start? 2 weeks ago. Maybe 3. The first was a shepherd boy. 14 years old. He was bringing sheep back late. We found him at dawn. Geralt listened. He watched the man's hands. They trembled slightly. Fear or rage, it was hard to say. The second, a woman, a widow. She lived alone on the edge of the village. She went to gather herbs. Never came back. We found her the next morning. And the third, a merchant passing through. He ignored our warnings. Said he feared no country's superstitions. He camped near the road by the cemetery. We found what was left of him 2 days ago. Geralt nodded. He had heard similar stories 100 times before. The details changed, but the pattern remained. Something haunted. People died. Fear spread like rot. What did the bodies look like? The village head's face went pale. Crushed, he repeated, like something had grabbed them and squeezed. Puncture wounds on the neck and shoulders. Deep ones. The merchant's arm was torn off completely. Wings? The village head nodded. Old Michael saw something. 2 nights ago, he was walking home from his daughter's house. Saw a shape in the sky. Large. Moving fast. Wings like leather. Geralt considered this. The description matched several possibilities. Most of them unpleasant. Show me the cemetery. Not until morning, the village head replied quickly. Nothing could make me go there after dark. Nothing. Geralt almost smiled. Wise, he remarked. The village had arranged a room. Geralt ate bread and dried meat alone at his table. The other patrons had left. Even the innkeeper kept his distance. It was always this way. People wanted monsters dead but did not want to sit near the man who killed them. Geralt climbed the stairs to his room as darkness settled over Rakov. Through the small window he could see the eastern edge of the village. Beyond it, field stretched into shadow. Somewhere out there lay the cemetery. Somewhere out there, something waited. Dawn came cold and colorless. Geralt descended to find the village head already waiting. The man had brought 2 others. Young men with the look of farmers. They carried clubs and moved with the false confidence of those who had never faced real danger. They will stay back, the village head told him, just to show the way. Geralt said nothing. He followed them out of the village. Roach he left behind. This was work for feet, not hooves. They walked east through harvested fields. Stubble crunched under their boots. Crows watched from fence posts. The land rose gradually toward a line of trees. Beyond the trees, the village head explained, lay the cemetery. It was used during the last Great Plague. 50 years ago. Maybe more. Whole families buried there. unmarked graves. The priests blessed it and then abandoned it. Geralt studied the tree line. Oak and ash, twisted with age. The shadows beneath them looked thick even in daylight. Does anyone go there? Not for years. Nothing there but old stones and bad memories. They entered the trees. The temperature dropped. Moisture hung in the air. Geralt's hand moved to his silver sword. Not drawing it, just touching the hilt. A habit. A comfort. The cemetery appeared suddenly. A clearing among the trees. Low stone walls marked its boundary, crumbled in places. Wooden crosses tilted at angles. Carved headstones had worn smooth with weather and time. Weeds grew thick between the graves. Geralt stopped the others at the edge. He stepped over the low wall alone. His witcher senses expanded. Smell. Sound. The faint taste of magic in the air. The ground showed signs of disturbance. Recent. Not from the creature. From people. He knelt beside a grave that had been opened. The earth was turned. The simple wooden coffin beneath had been pried apart. Empty. He moved deeper into the cemetery. More open graves. At least a dozen. The coffins broken in two. Contents removed. Geralt's jaw tightened. He knew what this meant. In the center of the cemetery stood a larger structure. A stone crypt. Family tomb of some forgotten merchant or minor noble. Its iron door hung open. Geralt approached carefully. Drew his silver sword. The blade whispered against the scabbard. The smell hit him first. Death. Old death and fresh blood. He paused at the entrance. Let his eyes adjust to the darkness within. Stone steps led down. Moisture slicked the walls. Something had nested here. He descended. The crypt opened into a chamber lined with stone shelves. Bodies had once rested here. The shelves held scattered bones, torn cloth, the remains of wooden caskets, and in the corner, a hollow scraped into the earth, lined with fragments of grave goods, bits of jewelry, scraps of burial shrouds, a lair. Geralt examined the hollow carefully, traced the marks in the earth. Claws. 4 digits. The spacing matched his suspicions. He found dried blood on the stones. Not human. Dark and thick. The creature had been wounded recently. Perhaps in the attack on the merchant. He climbed back to daylight. The village head waited with barely contained anxiety. Well, Garkin, Geralt told him. Lesser vampire. lives in crypts and caves, hunts at night. Very territorial. Can you kill it? Yes. When? Tonight. But first I need information. Someone has been robbing these graves. Recently. Within the last few weeks. The village head's expression changed. Shifted from fear to something else. Guilt perhaps. Or knowledge he wished he did not have. I don't know anything about that. Geralt stepped closer. His eyes, yellow and unblinking, held the man's gaze. Lying wastes my time. My time costs you coin. Tell me what you know. The village head looked away. Looked at his companions. They had gone very quiet. There were rumors, he admitted finally. Months ago, some men from the village, led by Casimir. He was alderman before me. They were seen near the cemetery at odd hours. People talked, but Casimir had influence. Money. The talk stopped. Where is Casimir these days? He left the village. Week before the killing started. Said he had business in Novigrad. Took 3 men with him. They haven't returned. Geralt sheathed his sword. The pieces fit together. Grave robbers disturb a Garcan's lair. The creature, normally reclusive, begins hunting beyond its usual range. Kills those who wander too close to its violated territory. Where did Casimir live? The village head pointed back toward Rakov. North Edge. Large house. His wife still lives there. Geralt walked back through the fields. Alone. The village head and his men had hurried ahead. They wanted distance from both the cemetery and the questions it raised. Casimir's house stood apart from the others. 2 stories. Good timber. A barn behind it that had seen better days. Smoke rose from the chimney. Someone was home. Geralt knocked. Waited. Footsteps approached from inside. The door opened to reveal a woman in her middle years. Thin. Worn. Eyes that had cried recently. I don't want trouble, she told him. Geralt kept his voice neutral. I'm the Witcher. Hired to deal with the creature killing villagers. I need to ask about your husband. He's not here. I know. Novigrad. When did he leave? 3 weeks ago. Said he would return in a fortnight. He hasn't. I don't know where he is. She was lying. Badly. Fear made people poor liars. What was his business in Novigrad? I don't know. He didn't tell me things. Not for years. Geralt studied her, saw the trembling hands, the way she glanced over his shoulder as if expecting someone. Your husband was robbing the cemetery, selling what he found. You knew. Her face crumpled. She stepped back. No, I don't know anything. The grave robbing woke something. A Garkin. It's killed 3 people. More will die unless I stop it. I need to know if Casimir and his men are still alive. If they're at the cemetery. The woman's shoulders sagged. She looked old suddenly. Very old. There, she whispered. They go at night. They think nobody knows. But I know. Casimir comes back sometimes. Takes food. Clean clothes. He won't tell me what they're doing. Won't let me tell anyone. How many men? 4 total. Casimir and 3 others. They have tools. Shovels. Pry bars. They built some kind of shelter near the cemetery. Hidden in the trees. Geralt nodded. He turned to leave. Wait. Is my husband in danger? Yes. Will you help him? If he stays out of my way. Geralt walked back through Rokov. The sun had reached its peak. Not much daylight left. He needed to prepare. A Garkin was dangerous. Fast. Strong. The wings gave it mobility. But it was still a lesser vampire. Animal intelligence. Predictable patterns. He returned to the inn. Went to his room. From his pack he withdrew vials and pouches. Black blood potion. It would make his blood poisonous. Useful if the creature bit him. Thunderbolt for strength and speed. Cat for night vision. He checked his bombs. Moon dust. The silver powder would ground a flying creature. Force it to fight on his terms. He had 2. Enough. His silver sword he inspected carefully. The blade was sharp. The runes along its length glowed faintly in the dim room. He had fought vampires before. Would fight them again. This was simply another contract. Another monster. Another pile of coin. But the grave robbers complicated things. They would be at the cemetery. Probably working after dark when they thought themselves safe. They would panic when the Garkin attacked. Panic made people unpredictable. Dangerous. Geralt descended as the sun touched the western horizon. The innkeeper had prepared a meal. Roasted chicken. Dark bread. Ale. The Witcher ate methodically. Fuel for what was coming. The village had appeared as Geralt finished. His face was tight with worry. "You're going tonight?" "Yes." "Casimir and his men. His wife told you." "She did." "What will you do?" "Kill the Garkin. What Casimir does is not my concern. He's broken laws, desecrated graves. Then deal with him after. If he survives." The village had left. Geralt waited, drank water, let his body settle. The potions he would take just before the fight. Too soon and they would waste their effect. Too late and he would be slow. Darkness came. Geralt left the inn. The village slept or pretended to. No lights in windows. No movement in the streets. Fear kept people inside after sunset. He walked the eastern road alone. The moon rose, half full. Enough light to see by. Enough shadow to hide in. Geralt's enhanced vision turned night to shades of gray. He moved quietly. A lifetime of practice made silence natural. The trees appeared. He entered them without hesitation, drew his silver sword. The weight felt right in his hand, balanced, deadly. The cemetery lay quiet under moonlight. Geralt approached from the south, stayed in the tree line, watched, listened. His witcher hearing picked up sounds, breathing, movement, the scrape of metal on stone. For men worked in the graveyard. 3 dug while 1 kept watch. They had lanterns shuttered to dim slits, just enough light to work by. Shovels bit into earth. They worked quickly, efficiently. This was not their first night. Geralt recognized desperation in their movements. Whatever they sought, they had not found enough of it. Grave goods were rarely valuable. A ring here, a pendant there, hardly worth the risk. But desperate men made poor calculations. He circled wider, found their camp, a lean-to built against a fallen oak. Supplies, food, water skins, evidence of weeks of work. Casimir had committed fully to this enterprise. Geralt returned his attention to the cemetery. The men continued digging. 1 grave finished. They moved to another. Casimir, older than the others, directed the work. His voice carried in whispers. "Hurry. Dawn comes early." Then the smell changed. Geralt caught it instantly. Rot. Decay. Fresh blood. The Garkin was near. He scanned the sky. Nothing. Scanned the trees. Movement. There. The creature perched in an old oak at the cemetery's edge. Massive, man-sized, wings folded against its body like a cloak. Its head turned, eyes reflected moonlight. It had been watching the grave robbers, watching and waiting. Geralt moved, silent as smoke. He needed position, needed the grave robbers clear of the fight. But the Garkin had other plans. It dropped from the tree, wings spread. The span was enormous. Leather membrane stretched between elongated finger bones. It glided across the cemetery, silent, deadly. One of the diggers looked up, saw death descending, screamed. The sound shattered the night. His companions scattered, dropped tools, ran in different directions. The Garkin took the screaming man, claws closed around his shoulders, lifted him. The man's scream cut off his fangs, found his throat. Blood sprayed black in the moonlight. Geralt ran, drew a bomb, threw it. Moon dust exploded in silver smoke. The Garkin shrieked, released its victim. The man fell, did not move, would never move again. The creature landed hard. The silver powder had disrupted its flight. It turned toward Geralt, crouched, muscles bunched under pale skin stretched tight over bone. Its face was nightmare. Elongated jaw, rows of teeth, eyes that held only hunger. Geralt drank his potions as the Garkin charged. Black veins spread across his face. His eyes went completely black. The Witcher signs he knew by heart. Quinn shimmered into existence, a protective shield. Just in time, the Garkin hit him like a battering ram. Quinn absorbed the impact but shattered. Geralt rolled, came up swinging. Silver blade caught the creature's wing, cut through membrane. The Garkin screamed, wheeled away. It was fast, faster than most things Geralt fought. It attacked again, claws raked for his face. He ducked, thrust upward. Silver found flesh, black blood welled. The Garkin retreated. They circled each other. The cemetery became their arena. Headstones and crosses, obstacles in their deadly dance. Geralt's enhanced senses tracked every movement, every breath, every tell that preceded an attack. The Garkin feinted left, struck right. Geralt was ready. Pirouette. Blade sang through air, caught the creature across its back. More blood, more screaming, but it was not enough. The wound would slow it, not stop it. Casimir and his remaining men had fled, their lanterns abandoned, their tools scattered. Geralt heard them crashing through the underbrush, running for their lives. Let them. They were someone else's problem. The Garkin attacked again, came low, tried to take Geralt's legs. He jumped, brought his sword down in an overhead strike. The blade bit deep into the creature's shoulder. Bones splintered. The Garkin's left arm went limp. It stumbled, tried to fly with its damaged wing, managed only a clumsy hop. Geralt pressed the advantage. No mercy, no hesitation. This was what he did, what he was made for. The fight moved among the graves. Geralt drove the Garkin back. Each exchange left new wounds on the creature. His silver sword found throat, found chest, found the soft places where bone did not protect. The Garkin's movements grew sluggish. Blood loss, pain. It could not flee, could not fight. Animals in this state became most dangerous. Cornered creatures made desperate attacks. It came at Geralt one final time, all teeth and claws and fury. He sidestepped, brought his sword around in a perfect arc. The blade took the Garkin's head. Body and head fell separately, twitched, went still. Geralt stood breathing hard. The potions burned through his system. His heart hammered. Black veins slowly faded. He cleaned his blade on the grass, sheathed it, looked at the carnage. Two bodies. The grave robber the Garkin had taken first, and the monster itself. Both would need to burn. Fire was always wise with vampires. Even lesser ones sometimes crawled back from wounds that should have killed them. He gathered dry wood from the forest, piled it on and around the Garkin's corpse, used oil from his pack, struck flint. Flames caught quickly, spread. The smell of burning flesh filled the cemetery. The dead grave robber he left. That was for the villagers to deal with. Let them see what their alderman's greed had cost. Dawn found Geralt walking back to Rakov. Smoke rose behind him. The cemetery would be safe again. The Garkin was dead, its lair destroyed. Nature would reclaim the graves in time. Weeds would cover the evidence of human interference. The village was waking as he entered. People emerged cautiously, saw him, saw the blood on his clothes. Some turned away. Others watched with that mix of relief and revulsion he knew so well. The village had met him at the inn. His face was gray. Casimir and his men returned an hour ago. They were babbling about monsters and death. One of their number is missing. Dead, Geralt informed him. The Garkin killed him. And the creature? Burned. It won't trouble you again. The village head nodded slowly. We'll pay what was promised. Casimir and the others will face justice. The priest will reconsecrate the cemetery. Geralt said nothing. Justice was not his concern. He had done what he came to do. Killed a monster. Collected his coin. The rest was human business. He took the payment. Gold coins that clinked into his purse. Counted them without shame. A witcher's life was paid in such coins. Each one bought another day on the road. Another night in a warm bed. Another contract to come. He prepared to leave within the hour. Roach was rested. His supplies restocked. The road called. It always did. The innkeeper approached as Geralt led Roach from the stable. The man's scarred face was troubled. The alderman, he began. Casimir. He's saying you murdered his man. That the creature was dead when you arrived. That you killed them both to increase your fee. Geralt looked at him. Yellow eyes flat and cold. Do you believe that? The innkeeper met his gaze. Held it. Then shook his head. No. I believe a witcher did what witchers do. Killed a monster. Sometimes men die too. That's the world. Geralt mounted. Sometimes, he agreed. He rode north. Left Raka behind. The village would survive. They always did. Found new aldermen. Buried their dead. Told stories about the witcher who came and killed the beast. In a year the stories would grow. In 10 they would barely resemble what happened. It did not matter. Geralt had more contracts waiting. More roads to travel. More monsters to find. The world was full of them. Things that hunted in the dark. Things that killed. Things that needed killing. And always, the humans who created the conditions that brought monsters into their lives. Grave robbers waking ancient threats. Corrupt officials ignoring warnings. Desperate people making desperate choices. The real monsters, Geralt thought, were rarely the ones with claws and fangs. But those were not the ones people paid him to kill. So he rode on. A witcher on the path. Silver sword sharp. Potions ready. Eyes scanning the horizon for the next contract. The next monster. The next chance to earn coin and survival. Behind him, smoke still rose from the cemetery. Ahead, the road stretched endless and gray. Autumn was dying. Winter approached. But there would be work. There was always work for a witcher. Geralt of Rivia rode into the gray morning, alone, as he had always been, as he would always be. The beast of Sodden Marsh was dead, burned to ash, already becoming memory. And somewhere, in some other village, another monster waited. Another contract. Another dance with death among the graves and ruins of human ambition. The path went on. It always did. Would always. Until the day Geralt fell and did not rise. But that day was not today. Today he rode north, toward whatever came next.